first half.
Oh, there you go. What a perfectly executed play. Backdoor they go to Chalmers.
You want to go into the locker room and look on the blackboard? That was the play.
North Carolina had one big sizable comeback this year, 14 down at the half against Boston College, but this is Kansas. Now it's 19.
Boy, that was a great set play, wasn't it? Here comes that weak side help again. Hands for a walk.
No
got
call.
away with it. Yeah,
definitely traveled.
Looked like the referees were looking for the upper body. Kansas let the game get away from them about the last 4 minutes of the first half, taking some bad shots. And
I think they ran out of gas, Billy.
I think you're right. I think they just wore down a little bit and made some mental misjudgments.
Arthur from the outside.
Nice soft shots been hitting in the first half, but that's put him back about 2 or 3 feet further than he'd like to shoot that shot.
And North Carolina is going to turn it right over with a backcourt violation. Here's the in-game box score, powered by CBS College Sports Network, the 24-hour college sports channel from CBS Sports. Hansbrough with 10 points, 5 rebounds, but it's Rush. They spread it around. Chalmers with 7.
Jim, do you remember a game? I believe we did it together back in '95, and UCLA had Kansas down 41-22.
I do. That's the biggest Pavilion.
Yep.
Here's Ellington.
That was the biggest comeback ever for a Kansas team, and they did it against the UCLA club. And then we had that Arizona comeback against Kansas.
Chalmers just handing it off to Jackson.
Much, much too easy.
How will North Carolina have any way of getting back into this game, Billy?
Well, Jim,
what would they have to do?
The way they got it back in the first half was pushing the ball up the floor. There, Hansbrough does a good job seeing the weak side help coming over and made it easy. This is the way North Carolina should have started the ball game.
Deion Thompson with that basket.
Ooh,
that could have been stolen. Rush on the fly. What a night.
North Carolina's defense still doesn't have a lot of intensity. So Kansas getting good looks.
Lawson drives it in and scores. Up and down the floor we go. Here's Chalmers squaring up for a 3. Rush on the follow-up.
That was a perfect pass. Derek Wittenberg, Lorenzo Charles. Bad shot, perfect pass.
Lawson, no. Hansbrough. And one. Hansbrough got hit in the face.
And he lost his contact lens, but he keeps running. There you see Hansbrough. Look at him coming down that middle. Nobody blocking him out. He continually runs. He uses that great speed, straightaway speed that he has to get to the ball.
Sasha Khan back out for Kansas. He played only 2 minutes in that first half as Aldrich saw 13 minutes of action and led them in rebounds with 6.
He played like an All-American in that first half. Jim, when you think about, we talked about the quick legs and we talked about the intensity. North Carolina in that first half only had 2 assists. They had 10 turnovers. Kansas had 5 blocks and 7 steals. You start talking about dominance.
That's versus no blocks and only 2 steals for the Heels. That just, again, supports the theory about every loose ball, the quick feet, the tip out to Jackson.
That was Kahn that got that one.
Rush. It's going to be against Carolina.
That was a good job by Rush. He was going to make himself have a shot. Ellington never got over in front of him.
For Ellington, that's his second.
Rush thought he would go to the line, too, because he almost was able to make that referee call that in the act of shooting. And if you're North Carolina, you cannot get in a trading of basket game here. Oh, there's a quick, cheap foul. Hansbrough trying to go out for a steal.
His second. Billy, you said the first 3 minutes would be so crucial for Kansas, and basically they played Carolina to a standstill out of the locker room.
Give Bill Self a lot of credit setting up that initial possession. The nice backdoor cut, half-court move.
Robinson has to come back out.
North Carolina working much harder now defensively.
Chalmers, open alley.
Thompson just letting him have the shot. Hansbrough open, Kahn's behind him. North Carolina didn't let him have the touch.
Thompson's blocked the foul on Jackson. And it'll be his third. Tuesday on CBS, your favorite stars reveal secret talents never seen before. Don't miss the premiere of Secret Talents of the Stars. It's Tuesday at 10 and 9 Central on CBS.
You know, Jim, as Jackson made that foul, I started thinking, when are we going to see Aldridge? And out of the corner of my eye, I saw Bill Self turn, and here comes Aldridge.
Green coming back out for North Carolina, and the man they call Q, Quentin Thomas. Lawson and Ellington to the Carolina bench. Robinson's replaced, as is Jackson.
And if you're Thomas right now, what you've got to do is start distributing the basketball. Try to get everybody involved that's on the floor right now, particularly Hansbrough. Green did his job coming off that bench, making some things happen in the first half.
He's the one that really gave him that 15-4 run to close out the half. Carolina now 9 out of 10 at the line.
North Carolina trying to trap half court. It cost them. Rush.
Not this time on the open three.
First time North Carolina tried to do that in this ball game, a half-court trap. Gave Rush a wide-open shot. Normally he'll bury that.
Green, he buries it.
As I said, he's the kind of guy who come off the bench and be a star.
Chipping away. It's now 14. They've gotten halfway there. They were down 28 in the first. Kahn on the inside. It's going to go against Kansas, and Kahn's collected his third.
Not the way Bill Self wanted those first 3 minutes to go.
Halftime lead was 17. It's now down to 14. Ellington driving in. Green has given them valuable minutes, as he has so often this season. Got 11 on the night, Billy.
And Jim, what is really critical now for North Carolina, bringing it back this far down, is to get it to single digits and still play. The way that they're playing right now is a much calmer game. This is the way we thought they'd play in the beginning of the ball game. I don't know. The team that showed up is one I've never seen play.
Green back of the rim, and it rattles out. Loose ball. And again, it's Kansas with Arthur.
And let's see if Kansas will go back and start feeding the ball down inside, where they were so effective early in this ball game.
Hansbrough, that time telegraphed. Yeah, he jumped right in front. He has another steal.
Hansbrough came down the court on that delayed break. Did a good job by Arthur picking him up.
Ginyard in traffic, blocked. Bring it back out. Shot clock's at 15. 2-point shot by Green. He's got the hot hand for the Heels.
As I said, Jim, he can be a star off the bench.
Timeout, Kansas.
Bill Self upset with his ball club. It is getting closer. Near the defensive intensity we saw early on when they exploded to that big lead.
Thomas right in the face of Collins. Green comes over to double team. They've got him pinned, and a tie-up, and the arrow's going with Carolina.
Jim, again, North Carolina jumping to their half-court trap. Second time it's been used effectively here in the second half. And the key at the 14 mark, you want to get this thing down below double digits before the 10-minute mark without pushing. Robinson, a good defender, but Green's pretty strong.
Hansbrough thought about launching it. That's Ellington. 2-point shot, and it's down to 10.
Well, I said before the 10-minute mark, it looks like they're going to get there even before that. And you can see that this Kansas team right now is starting to worry. North Carolina dropping back.
Rush way short, but it comes back to him. Puts it out on the floor, Carolina.
Now North Carolina's getting the loose balls, unlike the first half.
Oh, would this be big? Ellington.
Pretty good block out that time. Stevenson not able to get to the ball.
Had a chance to trim it to 7. Robinson kicks it back over Rush. Short with his last 2.
And again, North Carolina getting the loose balls. No place for Thomas to go.
But Collins spins away after making the steal. Driving in. Rejected by Green. And a charge call on Kansas and Collins.
Jim, have you ever seen a team that played so well, making so many mental mistakes as Kansas is right now? That is a 1 against 4 by Collins. No place to go. Bill Self talking to him right now on the other side. They are not giving any credence whatsoever of how important possession of the ball is.
You said Carolina must get it into single digits. Here's their chance. We still have 13 minutes to go in the game.
Lawson back in the game fresh now. Robinson, Green, this is a nice matchup here.
Green snaps it over. Thompson. Quick hands, almost a theft by Robinson. Green, blocked. Ellington, no, it's Arthur who gets it over to Rush. Robinson from the wing. Green taps it out. They got a 3-on-2. He's going to challenge Arthur, and it's a charge call against Danny Green.
Both teams not making good judgments when they've got an advantage on the break.
Second foul on Green. They've had a couple of chances down the floor.
Absolutely. There's no place to go right there if you're Danny Green. It was the same as Collins on the other end of the floor. Mental mistakes.
Green out. Ginyard in.
You see Rush down in the corner practicing his jump shot, Jim, without a ball in his hand, knowing that he wasn't shooting with a nice aggressive stroke the last 2 jumpers.
Kansas has missed its last 7 attempts from 3. They're starting to look very tight. Stolen. Ellington spinning away. Ellington fade away. Under 10.
Good pull-up. Bill Self is going to ask for a timeout. His team now is as out of sync as North Carolina was in the first half.
Looks like panic is setting in. Carolina's right back in it, down 8.
That looked good and solid. He's not sitting on the bench right now, but you know he's going to get back in there soon. The original starting lineup on the floor now for North Carolina. And Kansas, when's the last time we saw them go high-low and get the ball down in the low post as they started the game so effectively? Everything has been ball on the floor, jump shots.
No basket made in 4.5 minutes. Ellington on the chase. He has the steal. He has Lawson. Blocked by Rush. Hansbrough up and in and one.
Well, we've seen some comebacks, Jim, but I'll have to be honest, I have never seen anything like this.
There's his father. This would be the mother of all comebacks.
Well, and the reason is because of the way the teams dominated in the first half like Kansas. North Carolina had no legs. They got to no loose balls, and now it's just the opposite here in the second half.
Hansbrough can bring it to 5. Oh, and a rare miss.
Again, if you're Kansas, I think you got to go to the high-low game again and get your big guys involved in the offense.
A 12-0 run by the Tar Heels. That's going against Lawson. His first. We're going to have a break. The under 12 break from 28 to 6. .39 remaining.
And Jim, they've gotten completely away from doing anything with their big men offensively. Everything's been a high screen and roll.
Blank for over 5 minutes. Over the top. Here's the play you were calling for. And a travel against Arthur.
That's a good idea, but not well executed. The Kansas players are starting to look like they're really concerned. There's not that smile on the face. There's not that look of determination.
Tight.
Yep.
Is the word. 8 turnovers in this half alone for Kansas in 8.5 minutes.
Look at the set now that North Carolina is being able to operate just the way they want to.
Backdoor, Chalmers slipped and Ellington took advantage.
This is North Carolina basketball we're seeing now, not the team we saw in the beginning.
Ellington, if he didn't block it so forcefully, he could have tapped it over to Lawson. It'll be Kansas ball.
And what we see similar to what happened in the first game tonight, like UCLA trying to go 1-on-1 with every play. North Carolina, on the other hand, gotten back to their half-court offense.
And North Carolina scored the last 14 in this game.
I could be picked off. Roy Williams doing a nice job going from his man-to-man to those half-court traps.
He will step up for Kansas and get him out of this. Will it be Jackson? Jumper, no. Tipped up, rush. Squeezes it in.
He hadn't been able to make the jump shot, so does a good job rebounding. As a freshman, first freshman ever in Kansas history to lead him in scoring and rebounding. Showed you his rebounding potential right there.
Breaks a 6-minute drought. Lawson, wildly lost control of it going up, and it's rush again.
Probably should have picked up and taken a little jump shot inside.
Kansas trying to regain his composure.
But they are looking inside more now, Jim.
Over the top, Jackson's right there.
There it is.
From 4 to 8. Ellington guns it. Chases it down. Great hustle to save it for Carolina. Under 10 minutes to play. Lawson holds it up. No. Hand throw tip. Arthur clear. Kansas now with a little flurry.
They didn't have numbers and wisely pull it back out. Let's see if they go back into the inside again. Hahn going to come in, who hasn't been effective here in this ball game.
Taken out early with a couple of fouls. Chalmers, he wants it. Fires it long. Thompson.
Rebound.
Boy, he took out Jackson. Ellington on the wing. This is his shot. He hits it.
Terrific pull-up by Ellington. Isn't it amazing how much more positive the North Carolina players look right now than the Kansas players? I've never been involved with a game that turned this rapidly and emotionally looking at the faces of the players. Kansas smiling in that first half, confident, quick. Just the opposite in the second.
Yeah, concern written all over him now. Collins with 4 on the shot clock. Arthur with 1 on the shot clock. Not going to get it away. You can watch exclusive video of Amen Corner Live, plus all the action at the 15th and 16th holes live. It's all coming up next week. Bonus coverage of the entire field with Masters Extra. CBSSports.com/MastersLive and Masters.org.
Jim, in that first half, you had North Carolina with 2 assists and 10 turnovers. The second half, you have Kansas with 9 turnovers.
Rush and Hansbrough are sitting down as we approach that under 8-minute timeout.
Danny Green's back in, so he's a key. Robinson guarding him, and there's a reach.
Chalmers, as Graves has come in here for North Carolina. Chalmers, that's number 3.
You have to like the situation. Chalmers on Graves, he's much quicker.
The hands of Robinson trying to stir something up. Almost does.
Stevenson is shaky ball handler.
This is a tougher lineup to find points for North Carolina.
It is. Danny Green's got to be the answer. Here he is.
This would get it to 2, and it rattles out.
There was a case, if Graves leaves it alone, Stevenson has a layup.
With no challenge at all. But that one circled the rim, though, didn't it? The green tree.
It sure did. But right now, North Carolina has a funny lineup on the floor offensively. They've only got 1 score.
Graves quickly on the spot defensively. Now Kahn. Blocked. Follow up. No, but a foul. Aldridge will be shooting 2 out of the timeout. Ellington with 11 in the second half. North Carolina trying to make history. Trying to pull up the biggest comeback in Final Four history.
And took some bad shots. So they actually played into North Carolina's hands.
Cole Aldridge hit 2 free throws in the first half. Actually was given a mulligan after someone... Carolina in a lane violation. Now 3 for 3. The freshman stepping up so big here tonight.
Well, in the first half, 6.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal.
4 blocks now.
Yep. Funny-looking free throw, but he hits both of them.
And Arthur's going to replace him.
Now, with Ellington in the game, Green in the game, Hansbrough, North Carolina's got 3 ways to attack offensively. One of those 3 should take this next shot.
Here it is to Hansbrough.
He's double-teamed, though.
Tough shot.
Yeah, too tough a shot. He pushed off, too.
It's going to be his 3rd.
He was too anxious to take that one. Good defense that time to double down. Joshua Kahn and Arthur did a real good job.
That little Hansbrough flick of a shot that you so often talk about. It has been really challenged today, as much as we've seen. Kansas staying right with him.
Well, he does a lot of good things, but that was not a good shot he took there.
15 on the shot clock. Kansas looking for a little comfort. Lob it. Kahn delivers. Oh, what a Kansas moment.
Boy, they read that beautifully. Kahn set the screen. Collins knew he was going to roll to the basket.
Back up to 9. Ellington fades away.
He loves that stuff.
Follow up Green. Hits the floor, no call, but gets the basket.
The star off the bench is Danny Green.
Collins got free, and Green slaps it out of bounds. Sasha Khan from Tomsk, Russia. Didn't play basketball until the 10th grade. He came over to the States just to get an education.
Hey, Jim, Green has blocked 36 shots on the year, and Hansbrough has blocked 13. So you wonder which guy got a piece of that ball?
It was Green. Now Kansas, again, fighting a shot clock. 6:20 to go in the game. Dish, Kahn. He delivers twice now. Once on a dunk, once on a little flip bank shot as the shot clock was running down.
And he was 6 for 6, 13 and 6 in that big game and win over Davidson, so he's picking up right where he left off.
Whistle on Arthur this week. On The Late Show, Dave's got Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, and Steve Martin. And on Monday, catch Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone, only on CBS. That was actually on Collins, and that was his 3rd foul. Thompson with one more coming.
Well, North Carolina shoots 75% as a team, but right here on the line, Deion Thompson's only a 58% free throw shooter. Looked pretty good on that last one.
Yes, he did. Perfect form and all net. Again, delivers.
See if North Carolina tries to go to their half-court trap here. It was effective for them as a little change of pace. Here it comes.
Rush on the wing, 3 long. Lawson.
And Rush still trying to find his jump shot. He had it in the first half and has lost it now.
It's disappeared. Hansbrough passes up the open baseline. Oh, what a tough shot. Back down to 5.
Threw that from behind his head. It's it. Collins thinking about that lob again, maybe?
3-pointer instead. Sharon Collins hit the shot before the end of the first half. It's a big 3 on that one.
But both of these teams have a guy coming off the bench who could star. Sharon Collins and Danny Green.
Ellington, another wild shot. He threw that one up from his hip.
Well, give North Carolina a lot of credit in this particular case. They did not throw in the towel. I thought this game was over long ago in the first half.
Rush. Beautiful move.
Thompson not helping out defensively. Ellington will take that jumper.
Going back to Kansas. A quick trip for Carolina that time.
Too easy getting that ball inside. No weak side defensive help by North Carolina inside. You see who stays on the floor. Collins stays out there, Jim. It's a tough matchup.
Got a timeout called by North Carolina.
in the semifinal round. Went on then and were beaten by Tubby Smith's outstanding Kentucky team. It had that incredible comeback of number 18 points against Duke.
In the St. Petersburg Regional Final,
yeah.
They were the comeback Cats, and they were down 10 at halftime. And that was the biggest championship game comeback in history, right here at the Alamo Dome.
What was Duke? Something like 18 points in 8 minutes and some seconds.
Carolina going to pick up full court.
Not a bad idea. Now, if they're going to do that half-court trap, you look on the floor, Rush is the guy that's probably going to have the open jumper down in the corner. He's got to be ready to take it. Here's Ginyard looking around, but he's not going to trap because Rush took him down on the baseline. Here comes the trap. There's the jump shot.
Rush lobs it instead to Jackson. Lob City for Kansas.
You knew the trap was coming. Rush did the right thing.
Ginyard with a three.
Not a good three-point shooter.
Collins outmuscles everyone for that one. Jayhawks back up to 10.
Now in a position to use some clock.
Pick it corner. Rush. Rattles out. Tipped out Kansas.
Is Collins getting every loose ball now?
For the last minute he has. Jackson.
Roy Williams needs a timeout here. His team's letting it get away from him. He's still got time, but he can't let this game keep rolling on.
Jackson with 10-8 in this half. They call on Danny Green and Thomas to come on the next whistle. Hansbrough shot, tough one. Well defended. Back to Hansbrough. Travel. Back to Kansas.
Great help from all players there on Hansbrough.
Kansas has opened it back up on a 6-0 run. Back up 12. Kansas responding. They're on a 19-11 stretch, including the last 6.
And Jim, what brought him back is going inside again and getting away from that strictly perimeter game.
Got a 3-on-2. Collins pull-up jumper. Tipped around into the hands of Thompson.
Ellington down on the side. Rush sees him over there. Green, Ellington, Hansbrough. Got to take the shots the rest of the way.
Here's Ellington. The 3 is off the mark. Carolina's gone cold.
Nice pull-up by Chalmers here. Going to force North Carolina to play some half-court defense.
North Carolina only 4 out of 19 from behind the line. Rush.
Could be a big call here, but I think it's going to be a block on the inside by Thompson.
2 shots coming.
Jim, you talk about this Kansas club and the balance that they have tonight's a good example of it. 8 players have scored there. On the year, this team has had 7 different guys have been leading scorers, 7 different guys have been the leading rebounders, 5 different guys have been the leading assist man in the game, and 6 have scored 20 points or more in a game. That is terrific balance and hard to defend.
So probably would have had a 9th scorer in the act if Roderick Stewart hadn't fractured his knee. There he is. What a sad story that was for that young man, a senior, just out here in the shoot-around yesterday before a large throng in the stands, the open practice. He's going to have surgery when they get back to Lawrence. Didn't want to have it here. That's a Carolina turnover. He wanted to stay here and cheer on his teammates.
What I'm wondering is why is Lawson not in the ball game now to penetrate and do some kicking out?
Fractured a knee just going up for a dunk at the end of the shoot-around. It was an agony out here on the floor. Just last week, Rick Barnes was telling us in Houston he won't let his team do that in these shoot-arounds because so many balls are rolling around on the floor, so many distractions. Could be an injury, and that's what happened. Rush! Oh, yes, on the other side. Rush having a big night.
Now that North Carolina's taking the chances defensively, Kansas doing a great job recognizing what's going on.
Kansas starting to pull away. 9-0 run.
Collins so strong, and when he dribbles low to the ground like that, very difficult to get to him. Here is Lawson going to be coming back in the ball game with Ginyard. Kind of of interesting 3 different games we had here.
Yeah, this is game 3. This is Act 3 right here.
The game 3, all Kansas. Just when North Carolina looked like they could pull off one of the most miraculous comebacks we've ever seen.
You never had a doubt Kansas was going to win this game, did you?
I didn't. When the game started, and I said this game was over early because you never saw any indication North Carolina was going to get their act together, and they really didn't. As much as Kansas got sloppy there at about the 6-minute mark in that first half, got a little overconfident.
You declared it at 7:32 to go first half.
Is that what it said?
It shocked me.
Well, you say what you see.
That's why I love you. Now one more for Collins. Got them both. Larry Brown, what ties he has to these 2 programs, and he's encouraging North Carolina.
He's encouraging North Carolina to move forward. I think what he probably wanted to see was a good game by either team.
No for Hansbrough. Into the arms of Collins.
Collins has gotten so many loose balls, key rebounds in traffic, and now with the ball in his hands, he's tough to stop.
That was a fascinating cutaway, wasn't it? The man who won a championship for Kansas back in '88 in his rush has 2 more.
Well, where did he go to college?
I know his roots and his bloodlines with North Carolina run so deep. Roy Williams, who took over just a few months after that championship.
What's really interesting, talking about Larry Brown, he's one of 3 guys to take 2 different teams to the championship game. Larry Brown did it with UCLA and Kansas. Roy Williams did it with Kansas and UNC. And then Frank McGuire did it with St. John's in North Carolina. McGuire winning a championship in '57, Brown winning his championship at Kansas, and Roy Williams winning a championship at North Carolina. Kind of interesting. 3 guys, all with ties to Chapel Hill.
Darnell Jackson coming back in. Again, Carolina somehow was able to bring it from 28 to 4. That free throw by Lawson just ended a 13-0 Kansas spree. Did they just run out of gas here after the big comeback, or what?
Well, in our third,
what it looked like.
In our 3rd period, Kansas wins.
Be interesting to see with Memphis and the way they have dominated the star guards of the opponent here in the tournament, whether it was Neitzel or Augustine, or in this case tonight, Collison, how the Chalmers, Collins, Robinson trio and Brandon Rush, how they can do against Memphis on Monday night.
Well, probably a little better matchup size-wise than what they faced both in the UCLA situation and in the Texas situation and in the Michigan State situation.
Plus, you got the matchup of Dorsey and Dozier against the likes of Arthur and Jackson and Sasha Khan.
And Aldridge.
Should be a terrific matchup.
It should be. You've got the 4 big men that rotate. You've got the rotation with Taggart coming into the ball game for Memphis as well. Should be quite a matchup. And I got to give Bill Self a lot of credit too for pulling his team back when things were getting away from him and going back to getting the ball inside, utilizing his big men on lobs and hitting down inside to make North Carolina play honestly. 5 times to a regional final, never to a Final Four. Now he finds himself in the championship game.
Collins is the one with the ball in his hands. So many times it's been the case tonight.
Absolutely, particularly in this 3rd period, as we're calling it. Will have to give that ball up.
Kansas able to answer the huge challenge after they'd seen almost all of it given up. That big lead, Robinson on the inside.
Boy, any gamble whatsoever by North Carolina goes right to a layup for Kansas.
Danny Green, Ellington, back out Lawson. Final 20 seconds. He's got a 3.
That's about the first jump shot I remember him taking all night.
Timeout called by North Carolina. To think Bill Self had won one game in this building before, Billy. He had won here at the Alamo Dome. He beat Kansas, of all teams, when he was the coach at Illinois in a Sweet 16 game. And now he's going to take Kansas in this building to the championship game on Monday night.
Of course, we remember Kansas getting to a national championship final with Syracuse not too long ago.
You know, we're going to have two coaches on Monday night who really got their break in coaching as just really being like a gopher assistant coach, a volunteer assistant in Lawrence, Kansas.
With Larry Brown?
With Larry Brown.
How about that? And still are close with him to this day.
In Harry's case, he really started with Owens at first, but ended up there with Larry Brown.
Bill Self said he just showed up for work. Said, you promised to hire me. I haven't heard from you since, so I'm here to work. Had a pretty fair career, hasn't he?
I'm telling you, and it can get even better. Monday night, Kansas and Memphis will duel for the title. The Jayhawks withstand the storm and take it to the Tar Heels, 84-66. They had an 18-0 run in the first half, a 13-0 run in the second, in the late going.